YNABers, my name is Jesse Meekum, and this is podcast number 22 for You Need a Budget. Your business needs a budget. Where we teach you 4 rules to help you stop living paycheck to paycheck, get out of debt, and save more money. And perhaps today, increase the bottom line, increase your awareness, tell you what you can afford in your business. Have you stopped treating your business differently than your personal finances? And by that I mean spend whatever it takes or whatever you want in your business and only have accountability when you're home. That's happened to me in the past. Knowing how much you should invest, knowing if that expense is driving revenue or not, knowing if you should hire or not hire or fire if you absolutely have to. So today, I want to talk a little bit about YNAB for your business. There are a lot of you that are running small businesses, some large, some little side gigs, freelance type stuff, others with pretty complex operations, lots of employees. My hat's off to every single one of you, regardless of the size of your business. I think it's very cool. And we are kindred spirits as a result. I fell for the trap or the trick of using QuickBooks when I set up YNAB properly. I ran YNAB as a sole proprietorship from 2004 through about halfway through 2007. And then things were going pretty well. I wanted to win Taylor over as a full-time employee and wanted to have things in tip-top shape for that. Took me a year after that to win him over. But when I went full-time with YNAB, I thought YNAB should also be on paper something more than a sole proprietorship, and there were major tax advantages that we can talk about another time. So we organized as an LLC, but elected to be taxed as an S corporation. Look that up if you are looking to save some FICA taxes. As a result of that, I went to an accountant who set it all up for me, and he told me that I should use QuickBooks. So I bought it. It was expensive. A couple years later, I bought the later version. It was also expensive. And I've been using QuickBooks from 2007 through 2011. So 5 years. Well, I bit the bullet, decided to eat my own dog food, and I was curious. I had heard of people using YNAB for their small business, but I thought, oh, that's really small. That must mean they are selling things on eBay, or they're purely service-oriented, cash only. But the more I thought about it, the more I recognized that YNAB would work very well if you're basically a cash-in, cash-out type business. Realtor, software sales, which is what we do. Any type of consultant, freelancer, designer, musician, all sorts of things. When you start getting into having to track inventory, quantity, the cost, having different cost bases for different pools of inventory, I don't think YNAB would serve you totally well. On the budget side, it would rip, roar, and be awesome, but on the inventory side, it would probably fall flat. If you have complex receivable needs or payable needs, anything with AR and AP probably wouldn't be the best. There are workarounds if you have somewhat rudimentary AR needs where you could use off-budget accounts to track those types of things. And I can go into that in detail if you guys want. Just ping me at podcasts@youneedabudget.com and ask me questions about working around things with accounts receivable. But as I got to thinking more about this, I was thinking, I think YNAB could run on YNAB, and I think it could be pretty darn good. So, a little while ago, I wrote a blog post about this that some of you may have caught. I decided to make the switch over, and I backdated from January 1 through. So when I give the books to my accountant, he'll have the entire year. And I'm feeling really, really good about it. Let me just talk to you about just a few aspects of things, a few benefits I didn't foresee. I did foresee the benefit of a speedier workflow. I'm faster in YNAB than in Quicken. I think Quicken is not built to be just lightning fast on transaction entry. So when I use YNAB, I'm right at home. If there's a little bug, I know it'll be fixed eventually. If there's a feature I want, I know I could get it in there eventually. Although you guys would be surprised how long I have to wait to get my features in as well. Anyway, so I knew the workflow would be good, and it is. I did the first month or two, and it took me about the same time it does to do 1 month. So I at least cut my workflow in half, and that was kind of getting to know YNAB for the business, recategorizing things. Where should this go? Where should that go? So I sped it up quite a bit. I'm happy about that. Cut my time significantly. time that I hate anyway, so it's nice to have it be as small as possible. The second, and this was definitely a benefit that I hadn't foreseen, was rule one, where you're giving every dollar a job. I've always just, with the business, I've always just operated with a fairly large, not buffer, but just month-to-month cash flow has always been good, except when we were launching YNAB 3, where it was horrible. But beyond that, we've always been profitable, sometimes very small, sometimes larger. January, obviously, is always a good month for the personal finance arena, and we fall right into that, people wanting to get on a budget for the new year. We also see upticks at the end and beginning of months. Obviously, people want to get started at those nice cutoff points with the software, so they purchase then. So there are little cycles in there, but either way, even in the down portions of the cycle, we've always been profitable. So I've always just thought, hey, we're profitable, and we're building up reserves, and then when we're ready to hire or ready to grow, we'll have those reserves. But I'm very risk averse and scared when we have people working for us, and we've got a lot now, a lot more than I would have ever been comfortable with a few years ago. I just have more risk. Any decision I make, I feel there's a little more weight to it because there are other people involved besides just me. So I don't mind sinking ships when I'm the sole passenger on the ship. I mind it a little more if there's a bunch of other people along for the ride. So I've been kind of worried about hiring. Not worried, just cautious. And as I did the budget and looked at the numbers and started giving every dollar a job, my caution felt, honestly, a little bit unwarranted. And I saw, because I was looking at numbers allocated to specific categories, specific development projects we want to work on, specific products, that I saw that and said, wait a minute, there's plenty here. And in 2 or 3 months, there will definitely be plenty here. I think we can hire. And that was the impetus behind us hiring a new full-time desktop developer and a full-time Android developer. Android fans rejoice. It gave me confidence to grow the business faster than I would have otherwise. A lot of times when you'll be setting up a budget, you might be thinking, well, for my business, this is going to maybe put the brakes on everything and rein me in. And that may be true. If you're naturally risk-prone, which is perfectly fine, it's just that's the way you are. If you're naturally risk-prone by default without any external information like a budget telling you what you should or should not be doing, you could be totally flying off the handle. You could be growing way too fast. You could be growing in an unsustainable way. You could be spending money in places that you think are important and they drive no revenue whatsoever. So setting up a budget for you, because you're a swashbuckling, risk-prone, adventuresome type, but it would maybe tell you to slow down a little bit, maybe tell you to be a little more cautious. For me, I'm naturally cowering in the corner, not strapped to the mast, so to speak, and I'm naturally risk averse. So the budget told me, hey, risk a little more. Or actually, look, you're not risking much at all. Let's do this and get going a little quicker. That was my revelation. And that was a huge benefit. I think it's going to be a long-lasting benefit to the business that I'm able to give every dollar a job and save for rainy days, save up for development projects, and be able to see there's plenty here now. I've been saving for this or that for 3 or 4 months. There's plenty here. We can get going on it. Or, hey, look, we've got this extra. We shouldn't just have it sit around. It needs to be used. We need to be building things with it, adding features, polishing, marketing, whatever it may be. It's given me confidence to spend money. Spend's probably the wrong word. It's given me confidence to invest the money back in the business. I hate when people say invest for every single expenditure in their business, because a lot of times those are not investments. That's truly just waste. So be careful of that. But I of course, am speaking solely about investing for maximal ROI. No, I've wasted tons in the past, but be careful with how you use that word. Yes, you invest. Sometimes you just spend. You don't invest in a couch. You just buy a couch. Anyway, that's been a little bit of my revelation. This podcast is running a little longer than I'd like, so I'll go ahead and cut it off there. But for your business, think about that. It gave a risk-averse guy a little bit of confidence, and it might give the risk-prone guy a little bit of pause, and that would be valuable. External information, basically better information than what you had before, allowing you to make better decisions. And in business, that can really maximize things, just like it does for your personal finances. Until next time, follow YNAB's 4 rules for personal or business use, and you will win financially. You have not budgeted like this.